So in this class, we'll be discussing about endosperm. So for reproduction in flowering plants to take place, all this process are required. So first is pre-fertilization. What is pre-fertilization? Prior to the fertilization, the processes which takes place prior to the fertilization is called as pre-fertilization. So there microsporogenesis and microgametogenesis takes place and results in the formation of mature pollen grain or microspores. In the megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis will result in the formation of female gametophyte or embryo sac. And later the pollination will occur. So these are the processes which are taking place prior to the fertilization. So it is called as pre-fertilization. The next is double fertilization. Here the gametic fusion takes place, which results in the formation of embryo and the endosperm. So after this, the events which takes place after the fertilization, whatever the events that takes place is called as post-fertilization events. So there is an endosperm development, embryo development, and seed formation taking place. So this is the overview of microsporogenesis and microgametogenesis, megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis. Here you can see the mature pollen grain, mature female gametophyte. I'll just give you the overview of the double fertilization thing. So here, this is the pollen tube, and this pollen tube consists of two male gametes, and this contents are released into the synergids. These are the two synergids, and this is the egg cell, and this is the polar nuclei, and this is the antipodals. So this one of the male gamete will fuses with the egg cell and results in the formation of zygote, that is diploid in condition. Why diploid? One of the male gamete will fuse with the one of the nuclei of egg cell. So it is in diploid condition. Another male gamete, which is goes and fuse to the polar nuclei, that is a secondary nucleus, which results in the formation of endosperm. So endosperm is the product of triple fusion. Zygote is the product of syngamy. So in this video, we'll be discussing in clear about the endosperm and endosperm development. Endosperm is a nutritive tissue which is helping in the growth and germination of the embryo. So in endosperm, this is the first type of endosperm. It is called as nuclear endosperm, which is seen in Coccus nucifera, that is coconut. So this is the embryo sac, female gametophyte. See, in this case, after the fertilization is over, this antipodals, whatever it is present, it will degenerate, and even the synergids will be degenerating. Only the egg cell and the endosperm will be present. So in this case also, inside the embryo sac, you can see the presence of zygote as well as primary endosperm nucleus. This primary endosperm nucleus will undergo free nuclear division. What is free nuclear division? Karyokinesis takes place, but not the cytokinesis. There is no wall formation in this case. You can see the free nuclei that is arranged in the cytoplasm of the embryo sac. But at the later stages, what happens is there is a formation of cell wall from the periphery towards the center in the centripetal fashion. Centripetal means the formation of cell wall from the periphery towards the center is called as centripetal fashion. This is how the nuclear endosperm is formed in Coccus nucifera coconut. So this belongs to the Araceae family. As the example of coconut is given here, so whatever the coconut water we drink, it is the free nuclear endosperm. Whatever the coconut meat we eat is of the cellular endosperm. We can see in this case. This is about nuclear endosperm. The next one is cellular endosperm. This is seen in case of Cucumis sativus, that is cucumber. So in this case, what happens is, so there is again an endosperm here, primary endosperm nucleus, and a zygote. So what happens is this primary endosperm nucleus will undergo the transverse division. By the transverse division, it results in the formation of two daughter nuclei. Again, this two daughter nuclei will undergo transverse division and it results in the formation of four daughter nuclei. Again, it undergoes division and it results in the formation of eight, and further it undergoes in a different plane of division and it results in the formation of cellular endosperm. Now, in cellular endosperm, you can see both karyokinesis as well as cytokinesis along with the zygote. So along with the zygote, you are able to see the karyokinesis as well as cytokinesis division, and this is the cellular endosperm. As I've told, it is seen in case of cucumber, and there is an interesting feature that can be seen in case of cellular endosperm. This is the micropylar end and this is the chalazal end. So from both the ends, there can be the ostoria. There is a growth of ostoria. What is the function of ostoria? To observe the nutrients from the surrounding tissue. For observing the nutrients from the surrounding tissue, either from the micropylar end or from the chalazal end or from the both the ends, ostoria can be seen. So example in this is cucumber. See, in this case, you can see the cellular endosperm. This is the micropylar end, and towards the chalazal end, you can see the ostoria. This is the chalazal ostoria, which is in nuclear condition. That is, the nuclear division has taken place here. Here, cellular means both cytokinesis as well as karyokinesis division has taken place. So, this is about the cellular endosperm. Next is halobial endosperm. In this case, it is seen in case of monocots. About 14 families of monocotyledons, halobial endosperm is seen. So what happens in this case is here, the primary endosperm nucleus will move towards the chalazal end and there is a division. Again, there is a formation of a daughter nuclei. So the upper chamber forms the micropylar chamber and the lower one forms the chalazal chamber. This is the primary endosperm nucleus which is moved towards the chalazal end after the division. After the division of this primary endosperm nuclei, one towards here, one towards the chalazal end. After this, the micropylar region will undergo free nuclear division, which is similar to that of the nuclear endosperm. Means it undergoes free nuclear division in the beginning stages. At the later stages, it forms a cell wall from the periphery towards the center. So this is about the nuclear endosperm. What happens in chalazal region is there is no cytokinesis but karyokinesis takes place. There is a few free nuclear division that is taking place in the chalazal end. So it is an intermediate condition between the nuclear endosperm and the cellular endosperm. So this is the cellular condition, this is the nuclear condition because there is no karyokinesis here, because in this case both karyokinesis as well as cytokinesis is taking place. As both the condition is seen in this case, it is called as halobial endosperm. The next one is ruminate endosperm. What is ruminate endosperm? It is a unevenness caused due to the furrows and ridges on the endosperm. Why is this furrows and ridges is caused on the endosperm? Because of the ingrowths of the seed growth. Due to the finger-like projection that is caused due to the seed growth, it enters into the endosperm and results in the formation of the unevenness in the endosperm. So it is called as ruminant endosperm and it is seen in Areca catechu, areca nut, and which belongs to the family Araceae. So this is about the development, different types of development of endosperm. Thank you.